now listening to the Jca Sports Podcast on Spotify and Anchor. To the Jca Sports.
What it do, baby? Welcome to another episode of the Jca Sports Podcast alongside my brother Jonathan Palayo. My name's Jose Contreras. Guys, what is going on? John, what's up, man?
What's going on, bro? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Everybody who's watching, thank you for watching the Jca Sports Podcast brought to you by the Anchor app. Make sure you guys follow us on all our socials. We're live here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter. We're here. We're ready for another exciting episode, a great episode. And let's get right into it. John, with I guess some news coming in today, man. Some big news coming in today, especially with Deshaun Watson. There's finally been a ruling for him since all the allegations, everything's been going on with him for it's been what, a year or two now?
About a year and a half.
About a year and a half. Yep. Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson will serve a 6-game suspension without pay, but will not be fined for violating the league's personal conduct policy following accusations of sexual misconduct. Disciplinary officer Sue L. Robinson ruled Monday. Robinson issued her ruling in a comprehensive 16-page report. She wrote that the NFL recommended Watson to be suspended for the entire 2022 regular season. So let's not get it twisted. The NFL wanted this guy suspended the entire year, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the NFL Players Association, the guy is basically the union for the NFL players, and the league have up until Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern to file a written appeal of Robinson's ruling. But in a statement yesterday, Sunday night, though, the union made it clear that it will stand by her decision and urge that the actual NFL, the league, to do the same. The league did come out today saying that they're determining its next steps, John. But if an appeal is made, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell or whoever is going to give it will issue a written decision that will constitute full, final, complete disposition of the dispute. Now, this is where this is where it gets iffy, right? Now, the reason why Sue only gave Robinson 6-game suspension was because he concluded that Watson's conduct does not fall into the category of violent conduct that would require the minimum 6-game suspension, which the league had established as by far the most commonly imposed discipline for domestic or gender violence and sexual acts. So because it wasn't violent crimes, the reason why she gave it just the 6-game suspension. Regardless of the fact, it's kind of a sad story if you think about it. You have almost 40 women come and describe the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yes, he wasn't found guilty. Yes, he was found innocent, right? But at least from what we know.
Right.
But there has to be some validity to what they're saying, John. There's no way 40 women.
Yeah, there has to be some form of. I don't think foul play is the right word, but some sort of overstepping on his part. Taking it too far. I would say. I mean, like you said, it's a lot of women. It's not. It'd be different. It was just a couple. I mean, because let's be real. In the world we live in, folks do scams. They try to lie on athletes pretty often. But I think it's safe to say this isn't a scam. This isn't a lie. It's pretty serious, not just for Deshaun Watson, but just women overall, athletes overall. But he didn't play all last year. it has cost him I mean, you can say it cost him a good chunk of his career, despite him getting paid by the Browns pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it speaks more that the league wanted to suspend him in a year. Like it's pretty serious. The league, I mean, we've seen the league suspend guys 4 games, 6 games. Um, when they suspend you for a year, from what we've seen in the past, it's pretty much set an example out of a player.
I mean, they came out with the rule when Ray Rice in 2014, when there was a video showing of literally him showing punching his
Right.
girlfriend, locking her out completely.
Yeah.
I remember Ray Rice was one of those, generational star like type running
Mhm.
backs. He was, dude. He was everybody's like number one fantasy football. He was just a
Yeah,
dog.
he was an elite running back for sure.
Yeah, he was an elite running back. And then after that video surfaced, they suspended him only 2 games, but then the NFL just shunned him out. He
Yeah,
was pretty much done. Nobody wanted to pick him up afterwards. Then after
rightfully
that,
so. I mean, look at
yeah,
the bad image, bad press. I mean, the video was proof.
it was bad. Yeah, it was
That
pretty bad.
was a very very graphic video.
Yeah, it really was. And since then, it's been inconsistent with when it comes to NFL and the way they rule. There's been so many different domestic violence cases with so many different types of players, and you always see 4 games, 6 games. It's never been. They always say if it's a first time offense, you'll get the minimum 6 games. Second time offense, a ban, lifetime ban, right for the NFL. But you see a lot of slap on the wrist. It's really nothing to be scared of. When you know what I mean? Like if you're an NFL
Right.
player,
Yeah, if it's a slap on the wrist.
you're more scared to bet than you are to hit a woman if you're an
Yeah.
NFL player because you see what they did with Calvin Ridley. He betted once on an NFL game,
Yeah.
being an NFL player, and they suspended him a whole year. So there's a lot of criticism here with this ruling, especially because given the magnitude of this player and how much of a star he is, for him to just walk away with a 6-game suspension, that's nothing to him.
Right.
He's still, like, as you mentioned, the Browns are still paying him.
They're still paying. He got a lot of money up front when he signed the contract, and then I had to double check my sources, but I read that he was only like they were preparing for him to not play this year, so they were only paying him $1 million this year.
Yeah.
Pretty much what he got as his signing bonus covered.
Yep.
His salary for the year.
So guess how much he's missing? Guess how much he's losing this year?
Only $1 million. Right?
It's like he
not
no,
even. Like, couple. Well, to him, I shouldn't say a couple, but to him, a couple.
I couldn't believe it. He's only going to be losing out. I think it was around $350,000. Missing 6 games because they're only, like as you mentioned, they're only paying him $1 million this year.
Yeah.
So he's only going to be missing. He's only going to be losing $350,000. That's nothing, John. So guys,
to him is nothing.
To him, it's nothing. He still has a massive contract. Was like 5 years, over $200 million. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's still one of the highest paid quarterbacks ever.
It's
not. And he suspended his first 6 games.
Right. It's sad. It's definitely sad. When you heard the news, do you think the hold on. So first things first, right? Because I know I had questions for you and John. Eric.
Wait, real quick, because you don't think it makes the Browns look bad that like here's this guy who they're willing to pay so much money to, who has an investigation going on, might get suspended the full year, and they're just like, well, okay, we'll give him his money some other way just because he's that great of a talent.
The Browns don't care. To answer your question, yeah, it looks bad on them, but they don't care. Remember when Kareem Hunt, remember Kareem Hunt was first the Kansas City Chief.
I remember I wanted the Bears to pick him up, and the Browns.
He was one of the most electric, exciting running backs. And when he had that domestic charge in it, and there's video of him too doing the exact same thing. It was pretty graphic, pretty violent to his girlfriend. The Chiefs released him. The Browns picked him up.
Yeah, I remember.
The Browns are also ones who gave somebody like Josh Gordon, after every year he's suspended for PED use, they picked him up you know what I mean? They would give those guys those kind of chances.
Yeah,
they don't care. True. Why? Because they were that team. They were like the worst team for so long.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They just want to get back to winning football, and Deshaun Watson's that type of caliber quarterback that will get you back, right?
Absolutely.
So, do I think it's wrong? Yeah, hell yeah, but it's the Browns. You know what I mean?
It's the Browns and it's Deshaun Watson.
It's the Browns. It's Deshaun Watson. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
It's
do
crazy.
you agree? I know this question's pretty easy, but do you agree with the 6-game suspension?
Yeah, I do, because he deserved to get suspended.
But do you think it should be more, or do you agree with the amount of time he's suspended?
I think he should have been suspended the full year, because technically last year he wasn't suspended,
Right.
like officially suspended. Like it was just like, oh, you can't play while we're investigating, but this is like suspension. You know, he's not, like you mentioned, he's not being fined. So I could see where if they're like, okay, you're out the year, but we're not going to fine you. But it's like to say no fine and only 6 games. That's pretty much a slap on the wrist in my eyes.
Yeah. Does this change anything for the Cleveland Browns, John? As far as playoffs go, I mean, let's pull up the
Absolutely.
schedule. Let's pull up
I'm
the
glad.
schedule, right?
Yeah, I was checking this out. You know, this was all over ESPN this morning. I was at the gym. I was definitely, you know, I knew this question was coming. I was like, Jose's gonna add this. Realistically, I could see the Browns at a 2-4 record when he comes back. So I think this puts them at a wild card spot. Maybe a shot at the division, you know, because they got some big games against the Ravens, the Bengals, the Steelers. I mean, if they can manage to somehow sweep the games against those teams, and yeah, they're definitely in a spot for the division. But I definitely see a 2-4 record. I see them beating the Jets and Falcons. And then, you know, then Deshaun comes back, and I think he's going to be ready to go. Deshaun's going to be on a tear.
As we bring in our colleague Eric Avila in, you guys listen to the Jca Sports podcast. Eric, what it do, baby? Eric, are you there?
Yay. Oh, technical difficulties?
Technical difficulties, maybe with Eric.
Yeah. It's that new Wi-Fi in his new house.
It's that McDonald's Wi-Fi. So we'll get Eric back into a bit. But I agree with you, John, 100%. I think they can be 4-2, 3-3, only because of that first game against the Panthers. If Christian McCaffrey comes back and like healthy, I think he's gonna go off this year. With Baker Mayfield, he's gonna want a revenge game.
Yeah,
they could probably lose that game. I could see them maybe beating the Jets. I don't know. I could see them beating the Jets. I can see them beating the Steelers the first game of the year. They could beat the Falcons.
The Falcons this should win,
and then lose to the Chargers and Patriots. I could see them at 3-3, and then when Deshaun Watson comes in, depending on how rusty he is, I could definitely see them making a wild card spot.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think it's safe to secure a wild card spot for them. Like I said, man, they can low key get the division if they win the right games against their division opponents. But I mean, this is huge. This schedule definitely helps the Browns as far as when they get Deshaun back.
There he is.
I mean, but look at Deshaun comes in and he got some tough teams right off the bat to play. But I really feel like, hey, when at this point you missed over a year of ball, you're definitely going to be coming back.
No, I mean you mean tough, bro. Like it's nonstop. You got the Ravens, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills, Bucks. You know what I mean? Then you get a brief. You get a brief with the Texans, but then you're right back in it.
Yeah, the pressure's on. But hey, this is what they paid him for. This type of stuff. So you gotta earn his paycheck. You gotta earn his $1 million this year.
Yeah, it's $1 million this year. Well, 300. Well, yeah, basically 700,000. He'll be getting.
He got a pretty nice signing bonus. He got a lot of guaranteed money in that contract. He got to earn.
Yep. Eric, what's up, man?
Oh my God, he's wearing a T-shirt. No hoodie. Who is this guy?
I've been. You know what? I've been moving. So yeah.
New house, new him. Congratulations, my boy.
Thank you.
Is it just me, or does Eric look a little Lance Lynn today?
I don't know who that is.
Scruffy beard in the hand.
Please don't associate me with bums.
Stop playing.
Much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you. You just disrespected me. I don't like the disrespect.
That's actually a compliment.
I don't see any type of compliments in there
it's
whatsoever,
sir. It's probably the biggest, most compliment I'll ever give you in your life. Even on your wedding day. My toast will never be as good as this compliment.
No. I felt like you literally just spat in my face and you just
Okay. You know what? How about this one? How about Matt Patricia? We'll go with that one.
Matt Patricia, look. I can see Matt Patricia.
I can do Matt Patricia. That's respectability right there. Yeah, I was listening to you guys. It's an insult to Lance. Right? It's an insult to me. It's an insult both ways around. If you kind of look at it, it doesn't really matter at that point. Um, but yeah, I was listening to you guys too while I was getting everything situated. Finding the place and whatnot. But I told you guys, I don't know what else to expect. I mean, the charges, the what else you want to call it, all the accusations, so on and so forth. Once the settlement was paid, it's just like, okay, he got 6 games, and it's just like, yeah, you could do way worse. You could do way less and get suspended for way longer. 6 games ain't
Yeah.
nothing, guys. I know you guys seen the schedule right now, or you guys posted up the schedule a little earlier. I didn't get a chance to see it after
No,
week 6,
I'll put it up.
but even then afterwards, man, it's just like you try to suspend or you try to penalize the team for them not to make the playoffs. He's suspending
Nah,
him for
bro.
6 games. Let's just say the Cleveland Browns are, once the schedule pops up, if the Cleveland Browns are, in those 6 games, 4-2 at best, 3-3 at worst, even 2-4, you still give him a shot, even with Deshaun Watson, to bring him back. He has done it before with, I guess, a little bit less in Houston, but you could tell that he could take this team to a commanded team and take them forward to a playoff berth. And it's the NFL, guys. I mean, what else is there to say? You're gonna give them you're gonna be disappointed if you're asking for more, for way more than what they've done. They do. You guys get suspended for a year for gambling. So
Right.
I could you could slap somebody and you can only get suspended for 1 game. That's the damning part about it all. And I feel sorry for the women, to be honest with you guys.
Now, Eric, remember the NFL can appeal. That wasn't the NFL's ruling of 6 month suspension. They wanted him to be suspended the entire year.
No.
This suspension is from the disciplinary officer, which was appointed by the NFL to do the investigation.
Yeah.
The NFL has till Thursday to appeal. Do you think they would?
I mean, they almost appeal almost for everything, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, John said earlier he missed out a whole year of football last year. He's gonna miss another half a season this year, quote unquote. And then I feel like the only reason why they give him 6 games is because if you give him a year, it wasn't as serious to quote unquote be a serious thing for that damages the NFL. They were going to appeal the season long suspension anyway. So 6 games is kind of like it's not enough. It's not a lot, but it's too. The NFL they're just real fickle with situations like this, and they suspend you. They just suspend you for way more for way less.
Yeah.
From
I mean,
your protesting rights to
to even religious rights.
to even religious things, right? Not
Look at
even
Tim Tebow.
and you gamble on the NFL or do something like that, you get suspended for the whole year. So
No, yeah. You bring up a good point. You gamble, you get suspended for a year. Paulina puts in the comments you could be blackballed and shunned from the entire league just for kneeling during the
Yeah.
anthem. It's ridiculous.
I think this 6 games is just for the NFL to say, look, we did do something about it.
we did our due diligence. How about that?
Right. But we all know, again, he just became one of the highest paid quarterbacks in history. They fixed his contract, preparing for him to not play a full year. Like, it's not.
Right.
It's literally a slap on the wrist.
If you're Deshaun Watson, you're not losing here.
No, you're
You,
not.
Not at all.
you either come back on a favorable.
First of all, you got to leave the Texans, which you wanted out anyway.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you won there.
You won there. And you got this huge contract. You're only losing, like Jose said, about $350K.
Right.
Which, I mean, and then really in Cleveland, if you're a Browns fan, you're happy. I mean, you're happy about the sport. You're happy about your team being able to win. Not overall the moral right or wrong of this situation. But Deshaun's about to. I'm sure he's gonna get a lot of endorsements. He's gonna be the man in Cleveland for what is it, a 5-year deal he got? 4 years. I mean, just making the playoffs alone this year would be huge because they're coming from Baker Mayfield.
They have a good team defensively. They have some pieces around him offensively. You added someone like Deshaun Watson. Now he has to play. He hasn't played in a couple of years. But again, like, as I was mentioning, John, you hit it on the head, right? He doesn't lose in this situation. You come back in a favorable schedule. Your team could be the most. Your team could be literally 3-3. I mean, you're gonna beat the Jets. You're gonna beat the Falcons without Deshaun Watson. Jacoby Brissett is a serviceable quarterback.
So
You're gonna beat. I think they're gonna beat the Steelers. Eric, I think Eric.
I don't see that.
I think Eric agrees with me there.
I think I have a better shot of beating the Panthers.
They have a better shot of being, honestly, with Jacoby Brissett running the helm. I
He's
could
about to
kind
say
of.
something foul.
No. I think the
He's gonna say
Panthers.
something foul.
The Panthers are set up for Baker Mayfield's revenge game. He's gonna get back into.
Yeah, but
Christian McCaffrey's gonna go off.
When I've been reading, there's a lot of reports that Sam Darnold actually has been outperforming Baker Mayfield through all that. So if you're just talking about one game for Baker Mayfield to play and then go back to Sam Darnold, I think that's more of a disrespect for Sam Darnold than it is for Baker Mayfield. If it's serious, if it's literally serious and Sam Darnold starts week 1, then I agree with you guys. I could see them losing to the Panthers and still going 2-1 and beating the Steelers. But it doesn't. I mean, 3-3 looks to be the worst case scenario for them. Best case scenario, somehow, someway they pull off that victory in the end of 4-2, 6 games, and then they're in the running to, But then you get them back for the Ravens, the Bengals. Very good matchups right there to see where he's at. Look, man, the poise. The thing is, you get the Browns in the worst place situation to not make the playoffs when he comes back, and they gave him a shot for him to be making that run for the playoffs.
It's interesting. It's sad because again, so much is going on. Like, look, if he wasn't guilty, why settle with all the women? If he wasn't guilty, why in the clause that why in the disciplinary action that Robinson put out there, he's no longer to get masseuses anywhere else other than the training staff. You know what I mean? If you're not guilty, why put in that stuff? It's put in for a reason.
I mean, it's the same thing how the Cardinals put that independent study for 4 hours in their clause. They just took it out. I mean, they took it out because they don't want to be called a distraction for it. But you're right. Why would they put those clauses in the first place if you want to sign them? You know what I mean? So
it's crazy, but that's the NFL, man. Money rules, and money rules in the NFL. And Deshaun Watson's money, regardless. You know what I mean? It's sad to say, but it's the truth. It's the cold hard facts. Guys, listen to the Jca Sports podcast. We're gonna move on. We're gonna go ahead and do our weekly NFL preview. This is the last week, guys, and what a division we have. The AFC West is left. It's the main. I think it's the toughest division in the entire NFL. You have 4 elite teams, 4 teams that could definitely make the playoffs in the Kansas City Chiefs, the Denver Broncos, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Los Angeles Chargers. And let's get right into it, guys. Starting off with Las Vegas and the Raiders. This is their schedule. What do you guys see them doing this year? Are they a playoff team? What's their record? Let's get into it. John, what do you think, man?
It's the worst team in the division right here, easily.
Really?
Bro, they got Derek Carr. Listen, my thing is,
they made the playoffs last year with Derek Carr.
They made the playoffs last year with him with no passing game whatsoever in the running game.
No head coach. They had an head coach.
Can I talk?
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
Can I talk?
No, you cannot.
I don't know you guys are Derek Carr fans because a couple years ago when the rumor was going on and it was said the Bears had a shot to trade Derek Carr, it was a straight no from everybody.
Yeah, it was a straight
no. So now they make one playoff berth, and now we're all of a sudden on the hype train where Las Vegas is the game changer for Derek Carr and the Raiders. They're the shit now. Yeah, you can miss it with that.
For Derek Carr, easily.
I see. Yeah, because you hate Trubisky. I see them not getting their first win until week 7.
Really?
Yep.
I don't see that happening, man. I think. Look, go ahead.
Week 7.
Week 7. Okay, so what?
I mean, they're not going to beat the Chargers. This is Tony's team. Eric's laughing, but he knows he's not going to beat the Chargers. You really think they'll beat Kyler Murray? No. The Titans, they've gone to back-to-back playoffs. They're pretty legit with a legit running back. So a team that just made the playoffs isn't going to beat them. The Broncos have a Hall of Fame quarterback now. the Chiefs definitely have a Hall of Fame quarterback. So I'm trying to see where do they win within those first 5 weeks, according to you guys.
They beat the Cardinals. They beat the Broncos at home, and that's it. They're
Wow.
going to be 2-3 in the first 5.
So
I
Derek
always
Carr's
said-
better than Russell Wilson now.
I always said that this division is going to beat themselves. So I won't be surprised if they split all their games at each other's homes. I mean, if that's already a given. They're all going to beat themselves in this. If there's one team that I can believe that can split or can overtake the division just by a smidge, is more than likely the Kansas City Chiefs, but by a smidge, where they could probably, you're right, they could probably beat the Raiders twice, or they could probably beat the Broncos twice. The teams that they just, last year the team got into the playoffs, and the team that just got a Hall of Fame quarterback, but the Chiefs also lost a lot in their game too as well. The running game is not healthy. As you see, Clyde Edwards-Helaire was gone for the preseason. You lose Tyreek Hill. You replace him with Juju Smith-Schuster, and it's just
Who's in
kind
his
of like,
prime? Who's been a wide receiver 1 before?
but
You
it's
still
very
have Patrick
inconsistent.
Mahomes there. You have Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr. You have Andy Reid, Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame head coach.
Yeah, but he
It's-
also
and the
came from
Chiefs are
Big
the
Ben
Chiefs.
and Mike Tomlin. So
Hall of Famers.
right, but he was still inconsistent there.
He was inconsistent last year in Big Ben's statistically worst year.
Right, and he was inconsistent the year before that too, as well.
He was a wide receiver 1 the year prior to.
His drops has been his problem. John.
You're calling him out doing bad when Ben Begg could barely throw over 15 yards.
And even then, so
but, okay, and now you put him with Patrick Mahomes.
He still drops the balls. I don't know if that was because of Big Ben or because of him not catching the ball. But it's out there that he has his problems with drops. So it doesn't matter if it's Mitch Trubisky throwing him a 2-yard pass or Patrick Mahomes throwing a 25-yard bomb. Can he catch the ball is the problem, and that's been his problem throughout his early career.
I hear you, but I'm pretty sure as a professional athlete getting paid, getting signed on a new team, he's addressing his issues with drop balls. So I'm putting my bank on now. You are with Patrick Mahomes. You are gonna be wide receiver 1, EB wide receiver 1 again.
Okay, here's the thing. This is my take on this, right?
At the end, hold on, I'm sorry, Jose.
Go ahead.
Regardless, he's still better than any wide receiver on the Raiders.
John, do you forget who's on the Raiders, John?
Do you forget who's on the Raiders?
Their best wide receiver is their tight end.
No, John, they have Devontae Adams.
Are you serious right now?
I did forget that.
I know everything you're saying has no validation whatsoever.
I did forget that.
Wait, hold on. So so he's not better than Devontae Adams, and he's not better than Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow is Mr. Reliable.
No, he's better than Renfrow.
No, he's not. He's not better than Hunter Renfrow.
He's better than Renfrow. All right, I did forget Devontae Adams, so I still think they're not beating the Chiefs.
The Raiders team is better than the Kansas City Chiefs right now.
Right, here's my take. Here's my take. The Raiders are definitely better this year than they were last year in last playoffs. Yep. Offensively, they are going to be a juggernaut. Now, I could see them. I could see the first game between the Chargers and Raiders going either way because it was the last game of the season last year, and we saw. Now, I do think the Chargers are going to take the next step. I even said it. They're winning the division this year. At the same time, the Raiders are going to be right behind them. I think the Raiders are even going to be better than the Chiefs this season. I could see the Chiefs being the third best team in this division. I do see all three of those teams making the playoffs, but I can see the Raiders definitely taking the next step with Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs as the running back. Derek Carr is a manageable, serviceable quarterback. Is he the end all be all? No. But he's going to be at least good enough to make them to the playoffs for sure.
He's the worst quarterback in the division.
I'll give you that. But that's saying something because look at the other three quarterbacks though, John. Russell Wilson's a future Hall of Famer.
Right.
Absolutely.
Justin Herbert is a stud. I think he's going to be the future.
He's a stud. He's a potential Hall of Famer.
Patrick Mahomes, as young as he is, I think he's a future Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer.
So then, yes, he is the worst quarterback in this division.
But you see, he's
still probably one of the top tier quarterbacks in the conference.
You just called him a serviceable quarterback, bro. You think a serviceable quarterback is going to be 2 Hall of Famers and a potential
He's
Hall
one.
of Famer.
He's a 1B quarterback. He's He's literally right below the top tier of quarterbacks. Literally.
You know what he is? He's what Allen Robinson was for us. By default, wide receiver 1, but he's a B-lister.
Okay, that's a good comp. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it's a good comp. When Allen Robinson for the Bears was definitely was a 1B wide receiver, a wide receiver that wouldn't start on a good team. But now Allen Robinson is on a good team, right? He's not going to be the
Hall
best
of
wide
Fame
receiver.
quarterback.
He's not going to be the best wide receiver, but he's going to be a way better wide receiver than he was when he was on the Bears. Derek Carr, just like Allen Robinson, is on a better team surrounding him. So he's going to be a lot better this year than he was last year, like Allen Robinson. Now, you did say, right? When Eric said that the Raiders are going to lose or beat the Chiefs, you were like, what was your point? So he's a better quarterback? No, I mean, Tom Brady lost to who? Was it Nick Foles? Nick Foles
he lost to Nick Foles in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, twice.
Is Nick Foles better than Tom Brady?
Yeah, he's not better than Tom Brady, right?
So Eli Manning better than Tom Brady because he beat him twice in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he
Right.
is. It's his daddy.
No, he's not. But regardless of the fact, I do see the Raiders having a good record this year.
Yeah. If you think the 6 wins is good, yeah, absolutely.
You say 6 wins? How many wins
Yeah.
do I got here? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could see 8 wins for the Raiders.
I see 9.
I see 7 max.
I see 9.
I can see 8 wins. 8 wins.
Honestly,
Look, they're going to split. They're going to lose every road game in their division. That's a given. That division's tough no matter what. Just like they're going to beat when they're going to beat their division at home. I do believe that wholeheartedly, 100%. It's just, what do you do outside of that? How can you compete with the other AFC team that they got? I think they got the AFC South. Can you sweep the AFC South? In order for you to get into that position, can the other team stumble in between there? They're going to compete themselves every single week, not just the 2 games that they play against each other, but every single week. The AFC West is going to compete against each other. Who can outdo what better than who in this division? The only tough game I could kind of see here outside of their own division is probably the Rams game and the game against the Colts. That's probably about it.
You really don't think the Patriots is a tough game for them?
And if you come out 1-1 in that division, in those 2 games, now you're just relying on somebody else on to slip up, which is possible.
So here's
Patriots is going to be a hard game for them.
100%, John. I agree with that 100%. The Patriots are going to be a hard game for anybody. But here's the thing about the AFC, and I don't want anybody to get it twisted. We're saying 8, 7, 6 wins in the AFC conference. That will be enough to make the playoffs. Why? Because you're going to lose against teams in the AFC. Because these teams are stacked. Teams in the AFC
not in this division.
Every team in this division is going to make the playoffs, and I will write
every
that down.
team in this conference.
I'm willing to set a wager the Raiders don't make the playoffs.
70% of this conference can make the playoffs. That's how stacked the AFC is. You're going to have losses in this conference alone, let alone this division.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 wins can get you to a playoff and probably a high seed.
And somehow,
the Raiders,
some way, they probably got the two weakest conference division in their schedule with the AFC South and the NFC West, and they could still come out and just sweep them too as well. Other than the Rams, it's just what can the Rams do against everybody else, and that's the caveat of it all, man. I still see it. Every team in the AFC West is going to make the playoffs.
No,
and
every team but the Raiders. Literally, I'm telling you, I'm willing to put a wager on it with you guys. The Raiders don't make the playoffs.
We can get into it. We can definitely. Okay, so all right, how about this? Let's
y'all pretty quiet now.
No. Wait, I got an idea. Let's go through each one, and then each of us could say which team doesn't make the playoffs, and whoever is wrong has to pay up what dinner. What do you guys want? Beer?
You had me a beer.
All right.
You had me a beer.
Loser has to buy a 24-pack.
Fair enough.
All right. So
I'll take it. Give me that.
So we all pick a team that in this division that won't make the playoffs at the end of this, and loser gets to buy a 24-pack.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's get into the Denver Broncos with the new quarterback and Russell Wilson, guys. This is their schedule. What do you guys have? Can you guys see this team making the playoffs?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Ru-
But
Russ
if
is
there
gonna
was a
cook,
team that
baby.
doesn't make the playoffs in this division, is the Broncos.
It's funny.
I mean, the ending of their schedule just says it all. You got the Ravens on the road, you got the Chiefs at home, you got the Cardinals at home, you got the Rams away, you got the Chiefs away, and then you got the Chargers once again.
That's true, but I see them splitting against the Chiefs. I do also have them starting off 5-0.
3-1.
3-1 is still good. 4-1
4-2.
is still really good.
5-2.
4-2 is good.
6-2.
That's good.
Guys,
They're gonna split against the Raiders.
I mean, they're splitting against everybody. The whole AFC West is split. So just get ready 3-3 automatically off the boat with this division.
Look. Okay, we can agree they'll start at 3-0.
Yeah.
I think
Even though
we
you
all
just said that
probably
the Raiders are going to go 0-6, but all right.
no. Well, which is why I said they'll start 5-0. But I just said right now we can agree they start out 3-0. Week 4 is I think where we have where we don't all agree. Now, do they beat the Colts? I think yeah, but that's probably gonna be their hardest game.
No, they beat the Colts. And Mile High, they'll beat the Colts.
I don't know. The Colts have a really. It depends what Matt Ryan we get. To be honest with you, we can get Hall of Famer Matty Ice, and we can get
has a disadvantage with the altitude.
We can get noodle ass Matt Ryan.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. John might be right as far as the rate because I'm looking at the schedule. And I think the schedule favors more the Broncos than it does
Absolutely.
Raiders. I can see this team with 9 wins.
One, two.
Now I still damn, that's crazy. I can see now, but we'll see, right? Because Russell Wilson has not been playing well with the Seattle Seahawks. That could be a plethora of reasons. They had no offensive line to guard him. He's been injury prone, and then I guess his stint basically just in Seattle it was over a long time ago, right? So there could be plenty of reasons for it. This could maybe rejuvenate his career, and we know how talented this guy could be. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He won 1, so we know how talented this man can be.
Y'all not gonna like this, but I have them at 12 wins.
Wow.
Where?
I have 9. I have 9 wins. Eric, what do you got?
I have 9 too.
What did you have?
You guys are hating on Russ.
But wait. But that's the case, Eric. Then we're both agreeing with John because we didn't say 9 wins for the Raiders.
Yeah, I said 9.
No,
I said 9.
I said 8. I said 8.
9. You said 8. I said 9.
8.
You're agreeing with John. I said 9. I said 9. You're agreeing with him, not me.
I gotta look at the Chiefs schedule, man.
Well, I mean, based off of you guys, 9's enough to make the playoffs.
9's enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And if that head-to-head matchup, if it comes down to head-to-head matchup, that Ravens game is probably the key to them making or not making the playoffs, and especially if it's on the road at Baltimore in December. That's the biggest game for them too as well, because again, it doesn't get any easier. From
they'll split the Chiefs,
the Ravens, the Chiefs, you got the Chiefs twice, and you got the
they'll
Cardinals.
Split the Chiefs. They'll split the Chiefs. They can beat the Cardinals. I think they for sure lose against the Rams, and the Chargers is going to be a toss-up depending on where everybody stands in the division. But I think they'll at least win 1 against the Chiefs. They can beat the Cardinals. For sure, loss against the Rams.
They're definitely beating the Chargers the last game of the season. That's a guarantee. You talk about Mile High in January, a team that it plays indoor. Give me the Broncos all day.
Interesting.
Dude, this division is tough. This division. Let's go. Let's check the next one. Like the next one, here are the Los Angeles Chargers. My mistress team right here.
Your favorite team.
My mistress team is what I like to call them. Right. I'm a low key Chargers fan.
Oof. That's fine. They got nice colors, good uniforms. I like the logo. You should get a hat or a shirt. I fucks with it.
Yeah, for real. All right, here we have the Los Angeles Chargers. I think this team wins the division. I said it 2 episodes ago. They can definitely win the division. I think they take the next. They have a complete team. Defensively, offensively, you add Khalil Mack to the mix defensively. You already have Bosa on the back. You already have great linebackers there. Offensively, Austin Eckler is going to be a great running back. You still have your wide receivers with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. and Justin Herbert proved to you last year he could be an elite quarterback. This team has it all to do it, Eric and John. Looking at their schedule, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can see 10 wins here for the
I
Chargers.
see 10.
I got 9.
I see 10.
I can see a
I
10
see
win.
10, but I'm with John too, where the last 2 games of the season, I could see them going back-to-back L's to get 9 wins.
Now I have them going back-to-back L's. They'll win week 16. But yeah, I got them going back-to-back L's.
Yeah, that's
To end
10's a good one.
season.
9 is probably just about right.
I think they start off 1-1, but then they got it easy. The Jags, the Texans, and still no Deshaun Watson in Cleveland.
An easy
That's 3
3-game
easy
win
wins.
streak right there between Jags, Texans, and Browns. They maybe even 4. Again, they're going to be at Broncos at home, so I'll give them 4, probably 5 wins in a row. Definitely getting the Seahawks before.
If they go 4 in a row right there, then definitely the Seahawks is a trap game.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I don't know. 10 wins, guys. I'm saying 10. I'm going out on the limb and saying 10.
They can do 10, but I'm sticking with my 9. I'm sticking with my 9.
Eric got 9, 9, and 10. John, how many did you give the Raiders?
The Raiders, I gave them 7.
7, and what'd you give the
12?
12? Damn. All right, so John got 12, 9, and 7. This team, man. Well, I have questions after. Let's go to the Chiefs.
We'll talk to be honest, wait, before you go to the Chiefs, I'll be really mad if – I don't wish injury on nobody, but I'll be really mad if they get a healthy Khalil Mack for a full year and he's just dominating. No. I'll be pretty pissed.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
I'll be pretty pissed, man.
It sucks. It does suck, but we needed Khalil Mack. We needed the draft capital we got.
What are you talking about? We traded a potential Hall of Famer for a bag of peanuts.
Yeah, but come on, let's be honest, John.
It was more so for the cap space.
Yeah, come on, you know what I mean? Where the Bears are right now, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Facts.
They wasted his years already, and it sucks. Sucks to say that.
He wasted his own years being injured.
It's not his fault. He doesn't want to be injured on purpose.
That boy needs some more milk.
He does need some more.
Injuries don't happen. I mean, that's the question. That's the biggest question mark thing on the injuries.
Do injuries happen so much because you can't handle your coach's workout routines?
Speaking of coaches and their routines, we'll get into some Mitchell Trubisky right after this. But let's get into some Kansas City Chiefs, guys, and their schedule here. As you look at their schedule, I think the Chiefs take a step back. I think losing Tyreek Hill is going to hurt them more. Yes, they still have Travis Kelce, but Travis Kelce can't do it all. You do have solid, serviceable more wide receivers. Juju Smith-Schuster's on this team now. You have MVS, Valdez-Scantling from the Green Bay Packers last season. But other than that, I mean, does those 2 guys really scare all the defenses? Let's be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I think people sleeping on Juju just because he got famous on TikTok.
No, we're sleeping on Juju because he hasn't done anything in the last 2 or 3 years, John.
Thank you, Jose.
Let's be honest.
We're seeing something smart.
This is what have you done now?
The hate on Juju is crazy.
There is
You're right. It is a what have you done for me lately. I remember, all I know is I better not see none of you guys draft Juju in any fantasy league.
I won't
too much.
No, I might like.
It depends how far.
It depends. It's gonna be late. It's gonna be late. It's gonna be late. It's gonna be late. But I might go by Valdez-Scantling before I do Juju though.
Can you do it? That's bad Juju. You do that. That's bad Juju.
I don't know. I mean, I would if he's there like 7th, 8th round, and I still need a wide receiver, or need a wide receiver 2, and Juju's up there. I'll probably.
We'll see, right? It's an experiment with him, but he has to turn it around.
I think this is a bounce back year for Juju. He's on a great ass team to do it.
Ooh, this is a tough schedule.
Oh, you know what? I have them starting off 5-1 before facing the Bills. I think they lose to the Bucks. 4-1, sorry. I think they lose to the Bucks.
They do. Think they lose to the Bills? They beat the Niners. They beat the Titans. They beat the Jags.
They're gonna split against the Chargers, so
They're
whichever
splitting
one you
against the
have.
Chargers.
The Rams is gonna be a good ass game. It depends how their offense is throwing.
I got
they might get the revenge against the Rams.
I got the most. I got 8 wins, the most 9 here.
Okay, let me count. 1, 2,
You're gonna hate me for this one, but I see 10.
Yeah, I do.
I can see 10.
Guys, look,
Y'all really gonna hate me. I see 11.
there's no way.
Where's
the
that
Chiefs.
extra win that you get from me?
It's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid at the end of the day.
Where do you get the extra win from? See if we're on the same
Let me
page.
see. Jose's gonna hate me. They're beating the Bengals.
That's where I'm at too. That's where I'm at too. I don't know.
Jose's getting
It's tough.
That's my 10th win. That's my
Jose's
9th
the
win.
Burrow
That's I have them at 8. They could probably beat the Bengals as a revenge game for 9th, but otherwise,
Ooh, okay, so then if they beat the Bengals for win number 9, then win number 10 is the Texans. They beat Seattle.
no. I already counted those. I already counted those.
All right.
those in.
I thought you meant like that's their 9th.
I just said that Bengals game is going to be a toss up, basically.
That Bengals game is a toss up for between
It's a
9 and
toss-up.
10 for me too.
It's
As
a
well. I mean,
toss-up.
I can see the Chargers winning this division too. I'm with Jose on this one. It's just everybody else. Again, they're beating themselves for 17, 18 weeks in the season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's a competition every week, and they have to bring their and one slip up again. There's a game in each schedule where you can see that it could go from one way to another. The Chiefs had the
Right.
Bengals. Obviously, everybody has the Rams in this one, right? And then I'm trying to go as far back as I can remember. But there's one game in each schedule. But this time the Chiefs have 2 with the Bills and the Bengals to where it can make shift from 10 to 8 wins just like this.
I could see them winning 12 to win the division.
I don't know. I think that's a little too steep with this team that, just
Chiefs Kingdom, baby. Chiefs
look,
Kingdom.
I get it. Patrick Mahomes, I think we're gonna see this year if Patrick Mahomes can actually be a quarterback, because we kind of feel, and then there's a lot of people that feel that's on this boat too, that he could just throw it up in the air and Tyreek is there somewhere somehow, right? And he
That's
doesn't have
true,
that
but-
luxury this year.
Look,
He doesn't have that number, yeah.
No, that is very true. But I don't know. Like, I don't mean to. I'm not going off topic, but I'm using fantasy football to argue this point. Have any guys ever had Tyreek Hill in fantasy?
Yes, I did last year.
So he's kind of inconsistent in fantasy. He either has 3 touchdowns or none.
That's true.
No,
That's
you're
true.
right.
So
You're right,
that helps Mahomes as far as like he knows how to spread the ball around. Tyreek Hill, and I think that's what he's gonna do this year. Is he's gonna spread the ball around. Juju's a wide receiver 1. Regardless, you can put him on any team. He's a wide receiver 1.
No way. Juju?
Oh.
Juju's a wide receiver 1? No, he's not.
In
There's
any
not.
team?
On any team?
Maybe if you put him behind Devontae Adams, behind
John.
DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas,
All right.
Cooper Kupp.
All right, Dad. All right, no, John, stop. I got the list of every wide receiver 1 here, and we're gonna go through it now. Now that you said this, all right. On the Bills, is he a wide receiver 1 above Stephon Diggs? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. On the Patriots, is he a wide receiver 1 over Devontae Parker?
Yes.
Nelson Aguilar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's okay. Dolphins, Tyreek Hill.
No.
He's not even wide receiver 2. He's not even wide receiver 2. He's not even wide receiver 2 because Jalen Waddle's on
Jalen Waddle. That's
Bro,
right.
he's better than Jalen Waddle.
No, he's
He's
not.
better than
No,
Waddle.
he is
Bro. You guys are capping.
God.
The hate for Juju is real.
Yeah, what did
The
you?
hate for Juju
Yeah,
is
when did you
so
start
real.
turning into Eric with these outrageous takes, bro? What is
Dude,
going on?
You guys
It all
forget I'm a
started when he said Mitch
I-
Trubisky is the best
I fuck
quarterback
with
in the
this
No
whole
AFC
way,
North.
bro. Don't do this to
You
yourself,
guys
John.
are capping.
On the Jets,
Waddle? Oh my god.
on the Jets, is he better than Corey Davis?
Yes.
I think so, but I heard good things about Corey Davis. But I'm just
Right.
saying,
Yeah,
yes,
I
no,
have
the
yet to see
experience
good
that I
things
know.
about Corey
All right.
Davis.
On the Bagels, Jamar Chase, is he better than Jamar Chase?
No.
No, he's not. No, he's not. I'm the
It's
Steelers.
only 1 year, Jamar. Come on.
Come
now,
on,
chill
John.
That 1 year, he has done more in throughout Juju's career.
Absolutely.
Right?
Y'all
Just in
sleeping
1
on
year,
Juju.
he has done more.
Y'all
Absolutely.
on Juju.
Stop.
On the Steelers, his old team. Is he better than Deontay Johnson? No.
No,
Yes.
He's not.
no, he's not. That's the reason why they shipped him away.
Exactly.
He's
Come
no, he's
on,
better.
John.
He is. Dude.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
You're-
He's a
On the
wide receiver
Browns.
one. You guys
On
are.
the Browns, wide receiver, Amari Cooper. Is he better? Yes or no?
Yep.
No,
Yes,
No, he's
no, he's not. Oh my.
yes, he is. Jose, you've done fantasy mock drafts. They're right
Amari
there,
Cooper.
neck and neck.
Amari Cooper sucks. Don't get me wrong.
They're right there, neck and neck.
I think if it's a healthy Amari Cooper, it's definitely a more of a competition. But I could see John's point, Juju being a little bit better. But Juju has to
Thank
show
you.
something though. He has to show
Thank
something.
you. And he
But
will
really-
because he has Patrick Mahomes as quarterback.
At least Amari can catch the ball. He just can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
That's
well,
literally your only take, bro.
And that's the only
So-
take I need, John.
So if Juju improves his catching abilities, then you shut the fuck up.
Raven.
If he can, that's the biggest question. Can he catch
And-
the ball? That's the biggest question.
And if he does, which he will this year, legit wide receiver one, Chiefs win the division. And y'all got to stop the Juju hate.
On the Ravens, is he better than Rashad Bateman?
Anybody
Yes.
better than the wide receivers and Ravens, bro? Come on now, stop.
See?
Titans. I think they're
Yes.
big.
The
Robert
I
Woods
think we
is
can.
probably
I
the
think
one
we can say there's at least 5 to 7 wide receivers better than him.
All right, Michael Pittman
He's
Jr.
top 10. He's top 10.
Michael Pittman Jr. on the Colts.
Yes.
I'm gonna say no. Brandon Cooks. He's not better than Brandon Cooks on the Texans.
Yes, he is, bro.
Brandon Cooks is the only is one of like 3 wide receivers in the past 6 to 8 years who had 1,000 yards consistently, bro.
I really hope
Bro,
I see
keep
you
on my
draft
boy Brandon
Cooks.
I give you that
I
one.
hope
Bro,
you draft
keep on
your
my boy
boy,
Brandon
man.
Cooks.
I hope you draft your boy.
I am.
Brandon Cooks has been irrelevant.
John, look at his stats last couple of 5 years, John. 6 years.
What team is he on? Irrelevant.
Texans.
Next
John.
Next
Yeah,
question.
for him to post up
Irrelevant.
Oh
1,000
my god!
yards,
All
that
right,
says a lot.
all right, bet. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up his stats in a bit. Don't you
That's
worry.
fine, but he's on the Texans. Irrelevant.
He's better than
Next question.
Juju Smith-Schuster, John. He's been
No, he's not.
he's
Next
been
question.
better than Juju Smith-Schuster.
Next question.
Oh my god! 5
Irrelevant.
seasons. Thank you, Paulina. 5 seasons.
It's
Over
okay.
1,000
Yeah, we
over
know
1,000
Paulina.
yards.
We know Paulina gives you your fantasy.
Bro.
picks. Next question.
Only 3.
But that's
Only-
not fantasy though. That's NFL stats.
John,
That's like legit
in the last-
record
Eric,
books
Eric,
in
I'm not
their
sure.
season.
Eric,
It's
I'm
not
not sure you listen
fantasy.
to conversations
Fantasy
with
is
Jose.
fantasy
John.
if he contributes
Wait.
15 points
Thank
every
you.
single
Look.
game for every single
Wait,
year.
I'm gonna
bro.
put this up for everybody. Look at this stat. You can say whatever you want about me and Paulina. Look at this stat. Only 3 players in the last 5 years have had 1,000 receiving yards, and Brandon Cooks is one of them.
That's
Don't
great,
sleep
my
on
guy.
Brandon Cooks.
I'm not
Fantasy points-
sleeping.
Fantasy is not
I'm just
irrelevant
not
to the
doing-
real NFL. Fantasy is just for you and I, for all of us to have
Okay,
fun. Is he irrelevant in
then-
fantasy football? Yes, I get
then
that.
can I ask you a
100%.
question?
It's that.
Can I ask you a
But
question?
in the
please?
NFL, this guy can produce week in and week out.
Okay, can I ask you a
Steve.
question? Can I ask you a question real quick?
If it's about fantasy, stop, because
No,
now
no,
you're just making a
if I-
fool
can I
out of
ask you a
yourself.
question? Ain't nobody making a fool out of myself but you. Can I ask you a question? If
Go
he's
ahead.
so good, why hasn't he been traded from Houston?
Maybe because they want to keep him.
Maybe they want to keep
because
him.
he's-
I'm not.
so-
He's on a shitty team.
But why haven't teams like the Packers, like the Chiefs, who need another wide receiver, gone and got him?
Maybe because the Texans want so much and they're not trying to give it. I don't know, John.
I don't know, John. That's an organization.
I don't-
type
you're right.
thing.
I don't have-
They
I
do all
never-
they want, bro. Like I
Think about it.
don't know what to tell you, bro.
Think about
but
it.
if-
With a
You-
shitty quarterback and a shitty team, the man has 1,000 yards per season. Name the
So
other
just-
2. Devontae Adams is one of them.
Just like Allen Robinson when he was going off with a shitty quarterback, according to Eric.
I mean, look. All I'm saying.
Look, all I'm saying is you never hear buzz for big teams wanting Brandon Cooks. Never.
his other issue is he
But
can't
he
stay
has
healthy
he
too
has
as well.
he has
That's
5
another
seasons
thing,
of
too.
1,000 yards. Oh my God, this guy's amazing. But nobody wants to trade for him. No playoff team wants to trade for him. Why?
1,000 yards on a bad team, John. On a bad.
Okay, it's pretty easy when you got nobody else to throw to.
Again, he can still produce. I mean, I don't know what's the
You
problem.
still got to play opposing defenses, do you
Okay.
not?
Exactly.
Yeah, you do, but when you're forcing the ball to one
know
guy,
what we're
it's
missing
easy to
here
get
to
1,000
get you to
yards.
understand that. I'm still feeling like you still have fantasy and NFL putting this together when it's really not like this. It's
You damn right I'm drafting Brandon Cooks if I get the opportunity this season.
Okay,
You damn
I hope
right.
you do.
I mean, I had
I
it
hope
for a
Eric
few
does
seasons
too.
here and there. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I had Brandon Cooks probably like twice in the last 5 years.
I hope you guys draft him. But either way,
If you fall,
aside fantasy, why don't other teams go get him if this guy's so amazing?
John, it's an organizational thing.
Why do the Packers draft Jordan Love,
I don't know what to tell you. Not a lot of teams trade their players like that, dude.
The Packers drafted Jordan Love to get ready to replace Rodgers in case he left.
Why would they do that if he won back MVP? Come on, man.
Because he said he was unhappy and wanted to
organizations
leave.
do
still came back.
certain things, bro. I can't explain
Yeah,
it.
he came back because money talks.
Come on, man.
Organizations have the
do
worst
stupid
season in his
things, though.
career.
You know what I mean? You can't explain organization.
You cannot compare drafting your replacement quarterback to a guy who's got 1 foot out the door to not trading away this guy who's had 5 straight years of 1,000 receiving yards.
Hey, only 3 players in the NFL who've been able to do it. All
That's
I'm saying,
great.
I can't answer your question because I'm not the GM of that team.
So,
Me neither.
how about we go back to our take?
Aaron Rodgers was behind Brett Favre for 4 seasons, and he was a #1 draft pick, and he was still there. So, I mean, that answers your question.
Not really. Let me put this in simple terms for you guys. At the end of this year, Juju's going to have a better statistical year than Brandon Cooks. Next guy.
Oh, man. How many bets are we going to put in? Because we don't have to bet here, but we're going to keep this footage. And
I'll bet it. I'll put 100 on it right now. I'll put 100 on it that he has a better statistical year than Brandon Cooks.
What do you think, Eric?
You guys are loud enough.
Bet. All right, bet. We're taking this bet. We're taking this bet.
No. Me and Paulina have a bet. Now you two, what's up?
All right, bet. I'm in.
I'll bet each of you is 100.
I'm in.
All of a sudden, we're big Brandon Cooks fans. Let's go.
I bet
both of you 100 out.
I'm all in. I'm all in. $100. I'm in. We got. Can we write down? Are we writing down the? We have like 5 bets going on the show right now. We need to write them down before we forget. We have like 5 bets going on this show. Each week we have.
Eric's taking too long. Go ahead and name the next guy, Jose. Next slide already.
All right, but we're gonna move on.
You don't want no smoke, bro. All right. Next topic.
Staying in the AFC West, though, real quick. I have questions for you. All right, we all said it. Which team does not make the playoffs first and foremost out of this in this division? If there's any,
all make it.
All right, Eric says they all make it. John,
Raiders.
All right,
Raiders and Chargers don't make it.
Wow. Okay.
I'm only saying Chargers because I want to piss off Jose.
Okay, well, hold on. So for the bet, we were talking about the beer, though. Those teams have to make it for you to lose, basically.
Okay, for the bet, Raiders.
Just the Raiders. Okay, so Eric, if all 4 don't make it, Eric, or if just one of them loses, then you lose.
Okay.
Is that okay? You're good with that?
Okay.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm going. Shit, I'm going the fuck, dude. John says Raiders. I'm gonna have to go with the Broncos. To go with the Broncos. I don't think the Broncos.
Do you need me to choose, or I mean, if
just
choose,
if they all don't make the playoffs, then you lose. You're bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I said it like months ago. The AFC West, every team's gonna make the playoffs.
No, we hear you. We're just making sure. While we lock in the bet, you're saying they all make it. So if not all of them make it, you lose.
All right, good. Who wins the division?
Chiefs.
I got the Chargers. Eric?
Chargers.
All right. If there's one team in this division that can make the Super Bowl, who would it be?
Broncos.
I got the Chargers.
I mean, yeah, they made the moves to do it.
Yeah.
I'm leaning that way too, Jose. I think the Chargers too as well.
All right, cool. Now they're
the most complete team in this division.
I believe the same thing. Speaking of complete team, guys, let's talk about Mitchell Trubisky.
Hell yeah.
And that was sarcasm. Here we are. My boy, John's boy, Mitchell Trubisky. He looks good in Steeler white. I'm not gonna lie. He looks pretty good, as a Pittsburgh Steeler. This is what he said about a couple of days ago, guys, when they asked him about the difference between playing in Chicago and playing in Buffalo. He said the difference between my experience in Chicago and what I saw in Buffalo is they allowed Josh Allen to go out there and play his game. In Chicago, they wanted me to play the coach's game. Call it whatever you will. That's just how it felt to me. That was my experience from what I saw in Chicago to what I saw in Buffalo. Let's get with Eric, because I know Eric has the most hate.
He called you Jarek.
I know. I know. Because I was going to go with John, and then I was, I decided Eric last minute. So let's go with Eric, because he has the most hate from Mitch Trubisky. Eric, what do you got to say about Mitch Trubisky's comments here about the Bears?
I mean, it was evident when we saw last year, wasn't it? we all thought that Mitch Trubisky held back Matt Nagy, and when he got out the door, it was Matt Nagy that was holding back both of them. So, I mean, but also at the same time, it's not Matt Nagy's fault that the guy can't pass for 3 yards straight, on a dime or anything like that. So it's kind of both of them's fault. But what he said is kind of right, because we saw it last year with Justin Fields with a whole new different quarterback. Matt Nagy calls his game plan the way he wants to call it, the way he wants to play it, and that's that. He has the final rule over it. So for him to say that the biggest difference was that in Buffalo that they go letting Josh play, I mean, that's good. I mean, to each their own and how they coach and how they let the player play, right? But if he saw that big of a difference, that means that Matt Nagy was inept to coach in the NFL and to call games and to do all of that too as well. So, I mean, I still say they're both to blame anyways, Matt Nagy and Mitchell Trubisky. None of them can make each other better at the end of the day here in Chicago, and we're back to square one with Justin Fields and Matt Eberflus.
John, what do you think about these comments, man?
Look, we're talking about a guy in Matt Nagy who kept firing himself, then rehiring himself and play calling every week. So I don't think it's hard to say that Mitch is right here. Granted, you can say, well, of course Buffalo's going to let Josh Allen play his game because this is Josh Allen. We're talking about people who have hopes of him being an MVP, Super Bowl caliber quarterback. You can do that. If I want to play devil's advocate against my boy here. But I mean, absolutely, the offense never had a true identity here in Chicago. The best year was the first year when we got like a breath of fresh air of an offensive coach. He had his trick plays that worked here and there, but then after that, it's like the sophomore slump in Matt Nagy's coaching career just kept going. And then you bring in Andy Dalton, Nick Foles, and we're still bad. You're still can't get the offense rolling. You got Nick Foles calling you out on the sideline, saying you don't know what the hell you're doing, and it's just I mean, Trubisky's right. Obviously, I don't think in Pittsburgh they're going to be like, all right, your offense go. He has a lot of learning to do, but I definitely feel like he's in a better situation, which is why he could speak more freely. But I think he's spinning facts right here. We never knew who was calling the plays, and there are times where we all agreed Matt Nagy shouldn't be calling plays, even when Mitch is the starting quarterback.
Yep.
He's right, and again, there's a reason that Nagy fired himself.
Yeah.
Matt Nagy didn't get another head coaching job. He's an assistant now.
I agree with you, John. I think him. Now, first off, you can't compare yourself what happened with you and what happened in with Josh. Look, Josh Allen. The reason why they're letting him call the plays because he has the talent to do so.
Yeah, he can play the position.
The team trusts him to do it with the talent that he has. Mitchell Trubisky doesn't have that type of talent. But I'll tell you, I would. The reason why I put this up because I want it was for me to say this, right? I would give Eric and the Bears this credit, right? Because Eric has the Bears winning 11 games. I don't know. Anyways, I would give the Bears this credit and Matt Eberflus in this regime, right? Because you're hearing nothing but negative when it came to Matt Nagy, and John literally put it right on the head. With he kept firing himself. You've seen the inconsistencies. You've seen all the bad decisions. It was just a mess with him there. And you're hearing nothing but the complete opposite coming out of this training camp from multiple people. So I would give the Bears that, look, if I think they finally have a way better system, a way better coach, a way better organization today than they did last season, which gives me so much hope and joy coming into this season. Right. And kudos for both of you guys for mentioning that Justin Fields, imagine how scared he was. Maybe he knew that the plays that Matt Nagy was calling wasn't going to work, but you're a quarterback who you're getting shifted in and out with Andy Dalton and Nick Foles. If you don't do what the coach does, you're not going to play. So it's like you had to do what the coach wanted to do it, and you see what happened to him. It made him look bad. They made us all question Justin Fields. This season,
I never questioned Fields. Take it easy there. Pump the brakes.
I did a little bit. We all. I did a little bit, but let's be honest. It was more because of who drafted him. It was more because of who drafted him, right?
Nah, bro, we were all happy when he got drafted. Well, me and you were happy. Eric wasn't happy.
I was happy. Now
Eric's on the Fields train.
I was happy, but again, it's like Ryan Pace. Look at his track record with quarterbacks. I was like, It's like, you know what I
Of
mean?
course, but he did draft a proven winner with Justin Fields, you could say.
Yeah.
But again, I never doubted him just because we all knew, like, again, like how you said, Jose, regardless, you got to play. You got to do what your coach says. If your Fields, okay, I'm sure he suspected it just as much as we did. This is Nagy's last year, pertaining to last year's first year with the Bears. So it's like, okay, let me just do what I got to do. Let me just listen, try to make the best out of my, about where I'm at, take it game by game. And then, hey, next year, new coach, new regime, and I'll hopefully ball out. But,
Yep.
either way, as an athlete, even if your coach sucks, you're still going to try to, still go out there and ball out, especially if you're a rookie entering the NFL.
You guys still have time to go more, right? Or you're good to go more? Both of you? All right, cool.
Yeah, why not?
Ray, we're past the hour, but that's fine. We're listening to the Jca Sports podcast. Guys, before we continue, let's preview what's coming on this Wednesday. We have 2 shows. First and foremost, the one show that's making its debut into this season. When's the last time, Eric, you had a show at the AFP podcast?
The Champions League final.
Okay, well, it's coming back, and let's give you guys a little quick preview
Wait,
of both shows.
I'm sorry, Eric. Can you remind Jose who won and who lost that final?
No, we don't gotta go there.
Yeah, Real Madrid 1-0.
Who won yesterday though?
Oh,
Liverpool,
you're
my
right.
boys. Won the other day.
Who even knew Liverpool was playing in July?
Me, I know.
Aside from Eric,
I know everything.
They beat Man City. Okay, here we go.
They did.
I'm gonna stop thinking that.
Yes. You have 2 shows Wednesday besides us, the Jca Sports podcast. You have the EAFP podcast making its return from a little bit of a hiatus, a little bit of vacation.
Holiday time home.
Soccer is back, and of course, you have Sports Drip live with myself and my brother. And what a show we guys have for you! As we're going to review UFC 277, Nunes versus Pena, and SummerSlam. If you guys didn't watch SummerSlam, it was crazy.
Oh,
crazy,
ridiculous.
It was.
I only watched the high end, the main event summer thing.
No, hey, look.
Man.
Don't sleep on the Logan Paul Miz match. That was so good.
No, that was good. It was.
Okay.
Out of all the matches, I think only 2 of them flopped.
If I'm not mistaken, I think our boy Duffman was at SummerSlam.
Duff was
really
at SummerSlam.
Bro, he drove for one day and came back the next day.
Bro, Duff, man, if you're watching, bro, you gotta invite me, man. Sign into my team, bro. Oh, come on. But yes, two great shows coming to you guys Wednesday besides us. So make sure to tune into those shows. I'm pretty sure it's going to be very, 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 very fun. All right. Back into the show here. Let's get into some baseball, particularly with John's favorite baseball team.
Yes, sir.
Right.
First pitch swing, and that one pummeled out of here. 4-1. He got him.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Great game yesterday against the Athletics. A good win for the White Sox. John.
They won the series. They won the
series.
They came back and Saturday on one.
6-4 the last 10. They got some momentum going here. They're only 2 games behind. What is it? The Twins, right? Who are still top of the
Twins.
division?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man.
We got some questions, right? Tomorrow's the trade deadline, so we want to, depending on what happens tomorrow, we're going to see what the White Sox can do. But can you see them making a trade? They
already made a trade earlier today before our show. They went and got a reliever, Diekman from Boston, traded away catcher Reese McGuire. Fine with me. They could take him. We definitely need another arm in the pen. I am pretty upset that we didn't get Frankie from the A's. He went to the Yankees earlier today. But I do think it's a good sign to show the Sox make moves today. I think they're going to be very active tomorrow, at least another arm. Hopefully a right fielder, man. To be honest with you, I don't see them
take 2 or 3, and they're back over.
Getting a starter. I don't see them addressing the rotation. I hope they do. But I think only because bullpen and outfielder is more of a necessity than a starting arm in the rotation.
Yeah. Okay, with this newfound momentum, do you think realistically they could push for a division win and make the playoffs?
Absolutely, absolutely. I said it. I said it before. The Sox just got to win at the right spot. Before the playoff, before the All Star break. Sorry, they kept themselves in the mix. That's really what they need to do. There's plenty of ball still left in August and September, but this is where it counts the most. You got to win the right games, get hot now. I mean, frankly, we've seen in the past teams are mediocre in August and just set fire in September and make the playoffs. But I definitely see the Sox competing for the division. I do think they are. I mean, it's the only way to win the playoffs. The wild card's coming out the East, but I definitely think they got the momentum coming. It just sucks that I mean, you showed it. Jimenez homered, but we don't have consistent offensive power showing from our big dogs. We got guys like Pulisic, Yuri, an occasional homer from, let's say, Abreu or Jimenez or Moncada or Yasmani, but we haven't seen numerous home runs in one game from guys 1 through 7 in the lineup. You only get one guy homer in a night, and that's really what they need. They
Yeah.
need a core to carry them. There hasn't been a lot of. I mean, even today they're losing 2-0 against the Royals right now, and it's the 7th. Like, what is that?
Yeah, that's the one thing that you said, Jose. That one word that they're really scared of is momentum because they don't know how to carry it. Every time they go on a good stretch, they falter somewhere down the line. Every time when they try to catch that momentum, they falter down the line. Like, this team is the perfect team of playing consistently inconsistent, and they're just benefiting from a very bad division. And as much crap as I talk about the White Sox, facts are facts. When we're saying they won a series against the Oakland Athletics, and what did John just say right now? They're losing to the Royals, a team that they should be, dominating, a team that could need to be running away with this, and a team that needed to want to run away with the division. Did they say that they wanted the division to be a little tough? Yeah, but is it? No. For them to be 2 games behind the Twins right now, it's by their own sake. They can't do it consistently. They need a lot of help. I've said this, or I said this in a previous podcast. They should become sellers for this year to improve for next year, simply because this year is going to be a wash no matter what. Because once they make into the playoffs, they're not going to get out of the first round anyways this year. So right now for this, let's see what you got around you, because this team has been underachieving for some odd reason. Is it the manager's fault? Possibly. But the manager doesn't play all the games. He puts them out there. The players play, coaches coach. But for some odd reason, this team is not meshing together. And I don't think there's anything wrong with just selling off this year and to prepare for next year and the year to come after that. But to be honest with you, is it even worth it, John?
Eric, I hear what you're saying, but it's because we go to the playoffs, or we beat the Yankees, or we beat the Astros. No, I can't even say that straight up. But to say, if you want an organization looking at a business standpoint to just do a fire sale when you're 2 games out of first, that's the dumbest thing any team will ever do. 2 games out of first place, a division title, a playoff berth, that's enough to keep your job if you're in the front office.
That's enough to keep your job. But I mean,
exactly,
is it enough to make it further? Is it enough to beat the teams that you're not going to beat?
But if you make the playoffs this year, you come back in the offseason and address why you didn't go further in the playoffs.
Bro, it's the same thing that we had for the last 2 seasons anyways, in the shortened season and the season last year. So what's the difference between the last 2 seasons and this year?
The difference is, my guy, you play 162 games. If you make the playoffs, good for you. That keeps your job. As far as no owner is going to sell his team that's making the playoffs every year, whether they win a World Series or not. He's not going to do it. I mean, it sucks as fans because obviously you want your team to win. But when you're looking at a guy who's an owner of an organization, if you keep making the playoffs, you're just going to keep moving pieces here and there. But if you win the playoffs, you win the playoffs. I mean, at one point, you could be like, okay, 4 straight years, playoff burst, no ALCS, no World Series, La Russa, you have to go. But right now, the trade deadline, you're 2 games out of first place. There's no way you're gonna start to just sell everybody.
They gotta.
And then Eric, even I'm sorry to cut you off, Jose. Eric, even if you were to sell right now, who do you sell and who do you keep for next year? Because frankly, you got to keep 1 through 6. You're not going to sell Yuri. You're not going to sell Harrison. You're not going to sell AJ Pulik. Those are the guys that we're looking to replace in the off right now during the trade deadline after the All-Star break. So you're not going to ship. You're not shipping Timmy. You may ship Yohan. That's a big if. But you invested a lot in him. You're not going to ship Abreu. Yasmani's not going nowhere. Eloy, Robert ain't going nowhere. You keep Andrew Vaughn could get shipped. She could get shipped for value, but those are guys you're trading to get back something. Like I said, 2 games out of first. Right now, you're just chasing your division. When you get in the playoffs, then you worry about the playoff matchups.
I say, and this is just me, right? Speaking, and I felt that the Cubs should have done this a while back too during their championship run. But if you don't start like even attempting to, let's see what you get off of Eloy. I think Tim Anderson is probably the shortstop that you guys want for the future, rightfully so. And everybody else, maybe what you could get off of Abreu, something off of that, something like that to like. If you want to set something on or get that momentum that you need, but also still compete for the future, maybe trading 1 through 6 is not a bad idea.
But the thing
Sitting
is,
on your laurels,
I
isn't
think
going to
it's
do
different.
anything about you. Look what happened to the Bulls, and look what happened to the Cubs.
Eric, I'm
recently,
sorry.
sitting on
I
their
don't
But
laurels.
it's
recall you
different
ever
though. Hold
saying
on.
the Cubs should
But
trade their guys.
it's different with the Cubs because the reason why the Cubs started declining after 2016 were bad moves on the front office.
They got complacent too. Let's be honest, Jose. They got complacent.
Exactly, but that's the main reason here. Now I think the White Sox, it's more injury than anything. They just need guys back. Now there was reports that they were trying to get Shohei Ohtani. I don't know if you guys seen that. I thought that
Yeah,
was,
because the Angels are flirting his name out there.
they're flirting his name out there, so they want to see what they get in
yeah.
return.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't go out there?
Exactly, you got to do it, right? Especially
Who wouldn't pick up the phone call and be like, "Hey, who do you want?" Oh,
Right.
okay. I was just asking, bro. I was just asking. No, it's cool. You can keep him.
But as I was going to say earlier, the White Sox have to take games like tonight against teams that are lesser than them in the Kansas City Royals. They have to beat them if they want a chance to win this division. These are the games you got to take. You're in the second half of the season now. This is it. Like you had your All-Star break, start over. Here we go. Let's go. But if they're starting off like this, it's not a good look, man. I mean, I get they had the 6-4 last 10 games. They beat they swept the A's. Okay, good. But now get teams like this, strangle them by the throat, and continue on.
Look, for our next 2 weeks, we have the Royals, the Rangers, the Royals, and Detroit.
It's a good
Then
match.
we have
schedule.
Then we have a 4-game series with Houston starting August 15th. This is within these next 2 weeks, the Sox have to take first place.
They have to, 100%.
Absolutely have to.
I
But
still see him being at 500.
But it's
500 record.
that's fine. That's fine as long as I got the first place. But you still got to make moves tomorrow before the trade deadline's over.
Speaking of the trade deadline, guys, moving on. Let's bring in the Chicago Cubs. Wilson Contreras.
That boy Wilson, he gone.
Well, are you guys? I guess one of the main questions, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that he hasn't been moved yet. The trade deadline is tomorrow, yes. But are you guys surprised? I mean, how many games ago was it when this picture was taken, when he was saluting the fans? This might be his last game here at Wrigley Field, yada yada yada, and he hasn't been traded yet. Is that a surprise to you guys?
Yes.
No,
Me
it's
personally,
not.
yes. I'm not gonna lie.
Why is it a surprise, Eric?
I mean, this is the issue that now the Cubs have put themselves in this situation is now that the team that you're going to sell them to is probably not going to sell them for being a catcher. It's probably going to sell them to be a DH. So the value of the trade won't be as high as you once originally thought. This is why I said that you should trade him in July if you're willing to trade him, because it gives you not only the whole month of July, but August and September to get comfortable with those catchers. Now, if you're talking about trade him now, I mean, yes, you want to get the most value off of him no matter how badly you want it, rightfully so. It's not a king's ransom, but it shouldn't be below bargain either. Like you need to get, I mean, the Cubs got off of Zach Efron. They got the Yankees top pitching prospect out for this trade. So it has to be something along those lines too, as well, that they might want, out of their top 10, they might want 2 other top 10s and probably like a bottom feeder off there or a major league ready player. But this should have been done back in July, and now the Cubs shot themselves in the foot and getting the best possible value for Wilson Contreras to leaving it all the way up to the 11th hour.
I agree. CP, what up, my boy?
CP, what's up, man? Get your boy Johnny, man. He's been on crack all day, bro. Like, I need somebody smart here, man. He's talking
Hold on,
about
can you
going
tell
to be the best wide receiver in the NFL this year, man.
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. Don't cap now. I said Juju's gonna be better than Brandon Cooks, and I bet you CP.
No. But that conversation started with you saying he could beat any. He could be
Juju's a
better
wide
than any.
receiver one.
You said you said he could be a wide receiver one on every team in the NFL.
In the NFL.
On any team.
That's what you said, John.
And then I retracted myself, and I said
for Wednesday, bro.
Listen, and then I retracted myself, and I said there's at least 5 or 7 guys better than Juju, but he's a wide receiver one on plenty of teams. Definitely better than Brandon Cooks.
No. The only reason why you brought up Brandon Cooks is because I brought up the fact that he's one of the only three players. Yeah, I brought up the fact that the only reason why I brought up Brandon Cooks is because he's one of 3 players the last 5 seasons with 1,000 yards receiving.
So just ask CP, who would he rather have, Juju or Brandon Cooks?
Brandon Cooks, one of 3 players in the last 5 seasons with 1,000-yard receiving. Okay,
and then ask Brandon Cooks. No, and then ask CP. Does he think the Sox 2 games out of first place should just trade everybody? Call the season a lost cause. Anywhere.
Might as well.
Call the season a lost cause and prepare for next year.
CP,
see if he agrees.
Oh my God!
Yeah, man, get your boy, man. He said Juju's the best wide receiver in the NFL. Bro.
I did not say that.
He's just straight capping, bro.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Don't put
words in my mouth.
Going back to the Cubs, John. Why do you think the Cubs have not traded him yet? Do you think that's
because they want too much for him? Yeah? They want too much for him. That's why they know he's the last piece of the World Series. They know he's literally a top 5 catcher in the game.
Me and CP are back. We're back, CP. We're back.
That's cool. CP, I guess CP drafts Brandon Cooks too. But no, really, they want too much for Wilson. I mean, they feel like they have the leverage because he's such a good catcher, but also he's in his 30s already. So how many more years of being an elite catcher does he really have? And then the Cubs are being risky waiting until the last day of the trade deadline, man. I feel like they shot themselves in the foot there. They probably could have got more earlier.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, honestly, they should have traded him right after All-Star game.
Right before.
Before even coming back. No. Let him play the All-Star game repping the Cubs, and then trade him before you even come back to play.
Can you blame the Cubs though? I mean, I get why.
Yeah, they're being greedy.
I get it. I get it. Well, the only reason I'm saying, like, for wanting more, I mean, as you mentioned, he is an all-star.
He's an all-star.
Look, I get it. He's a top 3 catcher in all of baseball. He's a multiple all-star appearance, a World Series champion. You know, of course, it's easier said than done to actually sign a player of that type of caliber instead of trading him away. And I get it. He's in his 30s sometimes.
And he's also he's a rental. His contract's up at the end of the year.
His contract is up at the end of the year. So he's a rental. You get a lot less for a 1-year player than you do for a player who has multiple years, a la Ian Happ, who still has a year left in his contract outside of this year, which you might get a little bit more. And I understand that Ian Happ would have lasted till tomorrow to get your ransom because
I think the Cubs are definitely asking for a lot for both, but they're shooting themselves in the foot here.
They should.
Definitely.
I wouldn't be surprised if Wilson doesn't get traded just because of how much they're.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. But
if neither of them get traded, to be honest,
or either, true. But they better find a way to re-sign the man after the season. A guy who's willing to he's willing to stay in Chicago and do another rebuild with them than going somewhere else and play.
I feel like
better give the man the money. And I understand it's 30 years old and all this and that, and you know production is gonna fall, but he's still at the moment, and we'll have top 10 to top 5 catching a catcher in the MLB for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Then you would just let him go for the free. So did the Cubs shoot themselves in the foot to get top prospects? Sure. But they're going to shoot themselves in the foot and in the head if they don't trade them away.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like if they don't trade him, he's
And
not
don't
gonna
resign him. Sorry.
No. If they don't trade him, he won't resign.
And that's where they're going to shoot themselves in the
Right.
head if they don't
Because
resign him because he's that type of
you
player.
need to give this man a chance to play in the playoffs this season.
It's safe to say that the Cubs have they've been bad business for a while now. This team is very disappointing, to say the least. From the owner to the GM, I don't know what to say, man. Like that, since 2016, it's only been a downfall. It's only been a decline. It's so surprising when they had so much potential to have a huge window open. It's crazy. This team is becoming another Bears, bro. 1985 Bears. They should have been a dynasty and nothing, and they've just been on the decline ever since. And this team is just reminiscent of it. It's just ridiculous. Let's move on, man. Let's move on to a real all-star, a generational type player in Juan Soto. Trade deadline tomorrow, guys. Can you see this man getting traded, and if so, where?
Man, that's another Kevin Durant type of package they're gonna want for him.
Yeah,
it's insane. I mean, rightfully so. You see what they offered him, but I think it speaks more on the fact that he didn't want to sign it there. And I don't think it's bad. I don't think it makes him look bad that he didn't resign him. It's the Nationals. To be honest, everybody forgets the Nationals won a World Series a couple of years ago.
I do. I remember. It's surprising. He has a chip. Now go get your money somewhere else.
Right. Go get paid. Why be a part of another rebuild? You're already a World Series champion before 25. Go get the bag somewhere else. We're a team that's gonna consistently compete. But I mean,
in a favorable place. Who wants to be in Washington?
Exactly. But what did Joakim Noah say about Cleveland? That's how I feel about Washington.
Right, exactly. Vacation up there,
I mean, he's a special about that. I would give up the number 1, number 3, number 5, number 20, 2 major league players for a guy who's only 22. Generational talent. Like you said. If this is a Kevin Durant situation, whatever Kevin Durant was asking for in the trade or the Nets are asking for a trade, the Nationals should ask double. That's how much value this guy has. To me, he gives you everything. Left-handed power at bat, consistent player year in, year out, been through the playoffs. You can build through him because he's still young at the end of the day. If the value was up for the Cubs, I mean, hey, Wilson, Ian, Kyle Hendricks, even Schwindy and, Eddie Howard and everybody else, like I'll give them 7, 8 players for just this one player and let them fight out with him and Suzuki out in right field. You know what I mean? Convert him to a center field. I don't care, whatever the case may be. The thing about that though, like this is the type of player you do it for. Same thing if I was a White Sox, hey, hey, Luis Robert, hey, Eloy, hey, whatever.
Well, the thing is, it makes more sense for the Cubs to get rid of everybody, more so than the White Sox, because the White Sox have something they're building now. Juan Soto could be a piece to win.
At the same time, though, with Juan Soto, you could still win now with him, even if you give up those type of players.
No, I don't. If that's the case, then why can't the Nationals do it? I don't think that's to be the case. That you still need a complete team to do it. He's supposed to be the piece to put you over the hump, which he should be on a White Sox team. But you still got to keep the great players you have now, or at least some of them.
If you trade them to the Sox, you have to keep Luis Robert. You have to keep Abreu. You got to keep Eloy. I mean, okay, really, putting this guy on the Sox, you want him to complete the outfield of what you have now. You don't trade away Luis Robert. You don't trade away Eloy in left. You damn sure don't trade away Timmy at short.
Then this team has nothing. Then just move
You
on.
Give up.
Eric. If you give up everybody to go get Juan Soto, then it's going to be just like a team in Washington.
Yeah, exactly what I just said. You're another Nationals, bro. You don't want that. It makes sense for the Cubs. There's nothing going on for them right now.
I mean, you're talking about realistically the only teams I see getting Juan Soto are the big teams, the Yankees, the Dodgers.
Dude, that's just
Yankees,
bad.
The Dodgers, possibly. This is a big if. I'm gonna put the Padres and the Mets in there, but they're like tier 2. Dodgers. Yankees. I hate to say it. I'll even throw the Astros up there.
I was gonna say I can see that. I can see the Astros.
Number 1 level going all in for Juan Soto. Number 2 going just because these are teams that can afford to give him that $300+ plus $1 million contract.
I'm sorry. I thought the Chicago White Sox were in the third largest market in the nation. So why can't
Oh
they
yeah,
do it?
you're right. You're so right, Eric. I forgot that Chicago teams not named the Cubs spend money like it ain't nothing. I totally
I'm
forgot
sorry.
that, bro.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, if it's
yeah,
worth it for a player like that, I
absolutely
think it's rightfully so. This
right.
guy will still keep
Absolutely,
his
absolutely.
championship window open.
You're
That's
right.
it.
The Cubs proved it. They won one ring. You know, they actually did prove. Open the checkbooks and go sign everybody.
Yeah,
You're
but
right,
they
bro.
did it with their farm system. So
Well,
I mean,
Chicago's never been that market to do it.
Exactly. They never even want to. We literally just talk about the Bears not
The
spending
Bears
money.
don't do
The
it. The
Bulls don't
Bulls.
oh
spend
no, the
money.
Bears don't have money because they give their money to the city of Chicago. That's a
The
different
Bulls don't spend
conversation.
money.
Okay,
The White Sox
wait.
don't spend money. Eric, when have the
team.
White Sox ever spent money, bro?
No team in Chicago does it. None. And that's the sad part because we're supposed to be the third largest market in the country.
Right, bro. Exactly. We're supposed to be, but I don't even see us like on the level of Miami. To be upfront with you,
I mean, let's be honest. They even spend money. We don't.
right?
You know what I mean?
I feel like that's all that Chicago teams. They don't spend
All
money.
of them.
Chicago doesn't spend money. That's why
Right.
I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I was shook when the Sox were offering Machado money. You know, when they were offering him money. But the difference was the Sox were willing to go over 300, but it was with incentives. He had to earn it. They went to the 200 mil range, but you never seen them go to 300. Why would they do it now? They're not. And then think about it. Come on, what do you think the Nationals are asking for? If you think the Cubs are asking for too much for Wilson Contreras, then the Nationals are probably asking for fucking
For the farm.
naming rights of your stadium
for your
plus the
AAA
farm.
team. Two
want
AAA
your-
teams, bro. That's
You
what
want your
they-
firstborn son.
Exactly, your firstborn son, the heir to the next throne.
Right.
Oh, I don't know, CP. He said he's got didn't give Machado that money. I don't know.
That's true. This is the first year Machado's earning his money.
I don't know. I think y'all would have been over that hump. Just saying.
This is the first year Machado was earning his money, and I don't think it's not a coincidence that it's because Tatis is out.
That's true.
Machado looks like he just has to be that guy.
And
when
he
he's
would
not
be
that
that
guy,
guy
it's a
here in
problem.
Chicago with the White Sox. He would have been that guy.
Nah, Timmy
I'm
would
just
have dogged
saying.
it. He would've
If
bitched
you
his
want,
ass.
but I think CP and John make a good point. You know, it's not a coincidence that the Tatis is out, but at the same time, how many guys were out in Chicago? He could have been having this year here, but at what cost? You know what I mean? So I
At
get
310 million.
exactly.
And they
So
would
I
still
get it.
probably been over that hump to where
No,
this
bro.
division would have been
No,
theirs.
I don't care what you say.
They-
Machado,
I think so.
They
Machado
beat-
is
they-
on
I
a
definitely do.
310 million. Okay. Time out. You don't see Machado arguing on this team with his own players, with his own coach?
That's a leader.
Hell yeah.
Something
Oh,
that none
yeah.
of the White Sox team have. Everybody stays quiet and stays put.
Really? You know what?
They might need it though, John. They might have
Hold on,
they
hold
made
on.
it.
Eric, that's a great point because I see pretty often when athletes argue with their coach, they're viewed as bad guys. Especially if they're minorities.
It depends on the coach because
It
right now,
depends. Hey,
right
look,
now-
at this point,
Okay, so
anybody should
if-
step up. And right
If
now,
you see
nobody's stepping
Machado
up for
get
the
in
White
La
Sox,
Russa's
bro.
face, who's the bad guy? If you see Wilson Contreras get in David Ross's face, who's the bad guy?
it's gonna be Wilson. But let's be
Exactly.
honest. But let's
It's
be
gonna be
honest.
And I don't know
No.
if you guys know this, Machado's known to be a dirty player around the whole league.
That's why it would be on Machado. But let's be honest.
So you want the dirty player to be your
There's
leader.
so
Does
much
he win?
truly.
Does he
But
make
there's
a
so much
difference?
truly
Oh, yeah, I would.
right now. It's
Eric,
like
this is his first year. He's made a difference.
This is the first year he actually stayed healthy. How about that one?
No, he was pretty healthy with the Orioles. He's pretty healthy when the Dodgers traded for him and he shit the bed in the playoffs.
That one I agree. That one I do agree. He did wet the bed a little when he was with the Dodgers. I do agree with you on that part. But he has made a difference when he's in San Diego. Injuries
He's made a
have caught up
difference
to him,
this
and
year
finally
without
now,
their
he's
best player
finally-
being on the field.
He's worth it. This is the guy that's worth it.
He's worth 300 mil? No.
I mean,
Machado.
yes, but I'm hesitant, but yes.
Okay, Eric, if Machado's worth 300 mil, then Juan Soto's worth 500, 600 mil.
Oh, definitely.
Thanks.
Oh, no, 100%.
Big
That's
facts.
cap,
I
dude.
agree with
No
you.
player's
he
worth
turned
that
down
much.
for 40 for a reason.
No player's worth that much.
Not even Mike Trout.
Nope.
saying they're trying
What's he
to
doing
set
now?
up for failure. John, don't fall for it. If they wanted us to get Manny, so we would be stuck financially.
Which
That's
is what happened. That
But
was
he will
literally
make
what
your team a
happened.
lot more better than the way they are now.
Not really.
If we trade everybody, listen. Eric, I'll play this game with you. If you go and open the checkbook for Manny Machado, you never get Lance Lynn. You never get your closer Liam Hendricks. shit, you probably don't give extensions to Luis Robert, Abreu, Tim Anderson. You don't get Yasmani Grandal.
Okay.
So who you got Machado leading?
True.
I mean,
With
they're
Machado
finding
on the
ways.
team, losing some of those guys, you don't beat the Astros. You don't beat the Yankees this year.
I mean, you can't do it regardless, but it's okay.
I mean, you're right. You can't do it regardless. So what's the point?
Okay,
I mean,
and then
they'll make it better. He was on the free. It wasn't like you're giving people away.
he
All you
was
had
on
to do
the
was
free.
paying money.
My guy,
If you can pay money here and there, left and right. I mean, if
you
fans
had
show
to
up every
pay
once in a while, you probably have more money in the checkbook here and there.
$300
You guys get a little bit
million
more
to
money
this
from
guy,
the ownership
bro.
here and there. So
Right.
I mean,
One at a
You
time,
had to
boys.
pay
One at a time.
$300 million, bro. You act like that doesn't
it's what the
cripple your
player, it's what
checkbook
the
to
top
sign
players
other
are worth.
players that we have now. Manny
Still,
Machado is
top
not a
players
top
are worth.
player.
I will guarantee you, everybody around the whole nation will agree that Manny Machado will probably be the number one player in the White Sox right now at the moment.
If you put him on this team the way the roster is, yes. But the roster wouldn't be what it is if you went and paid him 2 years ago.
Oh, I don't
That's
know,
what I'm
man.
trying to tell you.
I mean, if
I
there's a will, there's a
agree.
way.
I agree with John there. I
don't know. Yeah,
That's
if there's a
pretty
will,
much
there's
like
a way,
saying-
man.
That's
Because
pretty
I mean,
much like
hey,
saying,
again,
no, bro.
if we're in the third largest market, right? If they could do it, they could find a way.
Eric,
We could do it,
Eric,
right?
that's
a joke,
In the Los Angeles,
Eric, we
Dodgers, why
just
can't
said-
Chicago, man? I'm just
but-
saying, there's
but
somebody has to
Eric,
break that.
Eric,
Somebody has
we
to
don't
break
spend
that
money.
trend.
We literally
Somebody.
just said how much of a joke that was being the third largest market. That's just a joke.
Somebody
That's
has
a
to break
joke.
that trend, don't you think? Don't
We
you think?
literally don't spend money, bro.
And
Nobody in
that's-
Chicago spends money.
I mean, the last time somebody spent money, the Cubs opened up the checkbooks and they got a World Series out of it. I'm just saying.
Which is crazy because you just contradict yourself saying we won off of our farm system. So
Which
pick
is
a side,
again
bro.
same thing. The farm system, and
Pick
we
a
opened up
side,
the
my
checkbook.
guy.
We opened up for John Lester, for Jason Hayward, and for
Oh,
John
right.
Lackey and
You know
everybody
what?
else.
You're
And
right.
those are the
I
missing
forgot-
pieces. We still won
I
with our
forgot
farm,
you-
but
you went and
they
spent
spend
300
money
mil
to
on one
get
player
there
that
too
year.
as
I'm
well.
sorry.
You can't. I mean, you can win your farm, but if you spend a little bit more money to put in your team, I
Okay.
think you go a long way too. Hence the
And
Chicago Cubs.
you're
I'm
talking
just
about
saying.
spending 20 mil on a couple players, not 300 mil on one guy.
If that one guy makes a difference, it's worth it.
Eric, okay, listen to what you're saying. Let's say the Cubs went and signed a $300 million player that year. You don't get John Lester that same offseason.
I'm sorry, but there was no player out there that was worth.
Okay, but I'm
there was
saying
no free
hypothetically-
agency
But-
that as
but
big
Eric,
as
but
Manny
he-
Machado
Eric-
was out there.
he's
Was
for
there?
Eric.
can
Eric,
Was there?
he's
understand-
trying
Was,
to.
it,
He's
was
trying
Bryce
to.
Harper on the market?
Hold on.
So you
Was
can
Mike Trout
understand,
on the
Eric.
market? Was anybody of that name of caliber in the market? I'm
Time
just
out.
saying.
You can
that
understand,
when a
Eric.
player
Time
like
out.
that is
Hey.
on the market, you go for it, don't you?
I'm gonna mute you both. Relax. Time out. What John is trying to say, Eric. Okay, before we keep going on, what John is trying to say, let's put the Cubs 2016 in the situation the White Sox were with Manny Machado. If they had a player like that and you spend that type of money around that time, we're not saying realistically there was nobody around that, but I'm saying let's say Manny Machado was there, same situation. You had to pay him that much money. What John is trying to say, you don't get guys like John Lester to come in because of that contract. It's the same thing you were saying about the Zach Levine, what you were saying about the Bulls, where you're not because we signed him to that max contract, we can't really sign better players. That's what John is trying to tell you. Same things for the White Sox, and if we would have put that same scenario with the Cubs, you would be saying the same thing John's saying right now. That's all he's trying to say.
Okay, but with that being said, who's the one you would let go? Schwarber, right? Because Chris Bryant would have gone and left, right? And then Manny Machado would have won the third, right? Or with the Addison Russell situation,
But you wouldn't have won a championship. It wouldn't have been worth it.
Shortstop, wouldn't he?
But it
Yeah,
wouldn't have
because
been
we know
worth it.
Addison Russell was going to beat his wife that year.
Like,
I'm sorry.
exactly. So I mean, we did, the situation differs from every part of the situation. Like if Bryce Harper was available at that time, I would have said open up the checkbook for Bryce.
Okay,
This
and
goes
if you
on
do,
off
then
the
you
rails.
don't go and sign all the guys you just named. That's the point.
Yeah, but they were already on the team. You're talking about in 2015. If you're talking about
this, Eric, every guy you named, you don't sign if you went and spent $300 million right before them.
Yeah.
That's the point.
All right.
I beg to differ. I think they would. I think they would have had that opportunity right then and there.
So we're going to agree to disagree before this game.
Yeah, no, I'm right. I'm always right.
Yeah, okay.
We're not going there, Eric. We're not going there. You're not
We
going there.
appreciate your Lance Lynn take, but we'll talk about the fantasy football now because Eric probably thinks he's going to repeat in this too since he's always right.
Here's the thing. There was a great debate. And I'm sure we'll have more of it. I'm glad we had the discussion. It's very entertaining. But let's get into what's happening in a couple weeks, guys. The fantasy football, our third third annual
Third annual.
JCA. I know, right? Third. I'm about to have an annual. Third annual JCA Sports Podcast Fantasy Football League is here. Make sure, guys, if you haven't already signed up, to sign up. Just write your name in the comments, or just DM one of us, or GM the JCA Sports page with your name. That way, we can put it in the I don't know, in the pool. I guess the pool of players that are going to be in it. Once we have everybody, the cutoff date is August 13th. The draft is August 14th. The week before, we will pull you guys' names out of a hat. We will place you guys in a certain league, and the rules are
We'll
simple.
divide it up. Yeah. We'll divide it up between us. Hey, right now it's looking like we'll have enough for each of us to have our own division.
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna get there. No, we're gonna get there 100%.
Definitely.
Rules to enter, free to join. As I mentioned, just just give us your name and we'll put you in. League placement, week before the draft, how to win. There'll be, let's just say, for example, there's 3 leagues. Whatever league you're in, you want to win that league. You want to make it to the finals. You want to have the highest score possible, because the highest score between the 3 leagues, for example, wins everything. What do you win, you want to ask? What is the grand prize winners treasure or jackpot, whatever you want to call it? It's simple. $100 gift card. You can use that for whatever you want, plus the JCA Sports trophy, which
I know what I'm spending my $100 on. OnlyFans, baby.
OnlyFans, baby. So yeah, so the $100 gift card and the JCA Sports trophy, which should be showing up here. At least I thought I put it in the feed. Let me remove this and bring it back up so y'all can see it. It's a beautiful trophy. John has it. Eric's trophy. There it is. Eric's trophy. Eric is the winner for last season. So you are going to be facing the champ, which is Eric, one of us. That's the trophy you would win alongside a $100 gift card. So yeah, JCA Sports Podcast, 3rd Annual Fantasy Football League, August 14th. Make sure to have your name in by August 13th. We'll put you in, and we'll have a good time doing it.
Hell yeah.
What a fun show.
Again, defending champion here. But again, we're trying to do this just for you guys to have fun, to join us, and also to have a friendly competition amongst us 3 too as well. So definitely for Jose, the first pick. It's without punctuation issues to get the first pick. So there you go. Since you couldn't say annual correctly.
Well, whoever can read the first page of Harry Potter book without pronouncing. Hey, look, talking to these guys for almost 2 hours, okay, and the nonsense both of them have been spewing the entire episode, it make any man go crazy, okay? If I can't speak for a little bit, it's not my fault, trust me.
Yeah, John's going with Juju Smith-Schuster as his first round pick for.
I was just about to say,
if he does that, and you guys automatically win.
Exactly.
All I know is I got dibs on Juju, so y'all better not draft him now. Talking all this shit about him.
Oh man, CP wants to know if it's his OnlyFans, John.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Respectfully, CP, no.
He said, "I'm sorry I missed it, Jose. Yeah, it's okay. If you missed it, if anybody missed the show, obviously you can watch us continuously on YouTube and on Facebook at JCA Sports. And then, of course, we'll go live every Monday and Wednesday on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So make sure you guys catch our past, future, current episodes there. Wednesday, we have the return of the EAFP podcast. Soccer is back, baby.
Oh, yeah, it is. Premier League. Well, La Liga Mexicana is already on their 5th week. English Premier starts on Friday. I'm excited for that one. And sooner or later, football will be starting soon because the World Cup is in November and December. So everything's going to be ratcheted up for the next couple months.
Absolutely. And then obviously followed by the Sports Drip Live, going over UFC 277. And of course, SummerSlam. We talk wrestling. We talk MMA, boxing, you name it. It's called Combat Sports there with my brother and I. We have a great show. And of course, we have John's Top 10. I'm sorry we couldn't debut it today. But we will do it Wednesday for sure. John's Top 10 MLB baseball. Of course, we're going to see the White Sox on there because they deserve to be on there. Sadly, we won't see the Cubs, Eric, but
that's all right. I mean, we saw this in writing on the wall in the beginning of the season. We had a fun 2 weeks, and then that was it. We knew the reality was going to hit soon.
Basically. Yeah. So thank you guys. This has been a great show. You've been watching the JCA Sports Podcast. Before we go, any of you guys want to say anything to our loyal fans and listeners at home?
Oh yeah, just if anybody's interested in joining our fantasy football league, guys, make sure you always share it on our page too. Once we share it and just like all our episodes, make sure you like and share all our episodes of the Jca Sports podcast, not just only ours, but also Sports Strip Live and also the EAFP podcast.
Yep.
That's
John?
it. Word? No words, John.
Thank you guys for watching. Apologize for Eric's blaspheminess.
Juju Smith, the best wide receiver in the NFL, bro.
I never said best wide receiver. Putting words in my mouth. Stupid man.
He said. Didn't he say number one wide receiver in any team, Jose?
Yeah, but he
corrected
okay.
himself.
And then I corrected
That's
myself.
why he said best NFL wide receiver in the NFL.
The more of the debate in that situation was Brandon Cooks versus Juju than it was him saying,
for sure.
Juju was number one.
Oh yeah.
All right,
anyways, yeah, like Eric said, join our league. We still got plenty of spots. Even share it. So we're welcome to strangers. We just ask that they follow our page.
Exactly. Yeah. Like always, like and share all of our posts, our shows, and everything that you guys like. Make sure you guys hit that little bell next to the John Conavi Facebook page to get notified when all our shows go live. As always, thank you for Jose, myself, and Johnny. We appreciate you guys watching and listening to us. We will be better next time. And as always, Jose, hit that outro.
What a finish!
Wow, that is unfreaking believable. What a way for a ball game to end.
Oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's terrible. My God. The humanity.
They may be the drunkest couple in the history of sporting events.
I loved his face.
I would suspect that fan is done for the night. Here's the thing. When you steal something, don't wear it.